Good evening.
Welcome to CHMA, broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, Canada. You are listening either on 106.9 FM in the Tantramar area or at www.chmafm.com.
On the new phenomenon called the interweb.
That's what you keep saying. This is Ground Control at YMC Midgic Airport. You are joining myself, Air Traffic Controller Thomas.
Me, Air Traffic Controller Luke.
I almost forgot who I was for a second.
You seemed like you were struggling, and it's pretty early on into being.
Look.
Okay. It wasn't a criticism. It was just an observation.
This is one of...
You're going to do great.
This is one of the shortest rambling intros we've had in a while. And then you just had to derail it with all of that.
If we commit now, we can still finish it in the allotted intro time.
Join us for the next hour as we watch the guys listen to some tunes, chat, and we'll be done by and by. Luke!
Yeah, I feel like we're close enough to recording this live where I can actually do a semi-respectable weather prediction.
Sure, what do you think the weather's going to be like? We're only at an evening away at this point.
It's going to be like a little bit cloudy, a little bit sunny, and a little bit cold and a little bit warm. Like not overly warm, but not super cold. And you might see the sun tonight. You might see it tomorrow. Yeah.
So a stereotypical late spring, early summer mirror time day.
We've had this discussion before. I may just get an almanac and read out of it.
I
don't think I'll be any further off.
I like that idea.
Than, some professional meteorologists.
How do you like the upgrades we've done to the break room?
The break room, folks, for one of us, of course, aside from being air traffic controllers, is very interested in the quality of the audio we put out.
Sure.
And the other one of us is me.
Yes.
So tonight, there's a divider between us. So where we usually have visual cues, I'm in one half of the break room alone. He's in one half of the break room alone. Air traffic controller Archie the dog, no idea where he is. This could be interesting.
We have booths here, even in the break room now. So I am in.
I feel like it's going to be very isolating for the other staff when they come in to have, a communal lunch.
Look, the only one who's complained so far doesn't even work here. They just own the building. So,
all right. Well, landlords, am I right?
I know. Look, that's not a conversation. Well, it is a conversation for here, but not right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got the little bit of the weather going on. Hey, do you want to play a tune?
Yeah, let's play a tune. You want to pick one, or you want me to pick one?
I got one. I'm going to play one of my favorite Joel Plaskett tunes.
Oh, doesn't he have new stuff again?
I think he does.
We should look that up and put it on the radio.
We should,
and on the internet via the radio.
I'm going on a.
All right, but play me a classic.
An old one. Yeah, this is Sailor Eyes. So this is from his 333 album, which we get many great hits like Through. So this is Sailor Eyes by Joel Plaskett.
Hit it.
Waves will rock you on the bow. What will I do now? Ocean blue, horizon line. Can you see your eyes in mine? Waves will rock you to and fro. Why'd you have to go? Oh, my love, you got sailor's eyes, sailor's eyes, sailor's eyes. another one to pass along to anyone whose love's been took, who's seen that leaving look. Oh, my love, you got sailor's eyes, sailor's eyes, sailor's eyes. Gone before the next sunrise. Goddamn your sailor's eyes. You got sailor's eyes, sailor's eyes, sailor's eyes. Gone before the first crow flies. Goddamn your sailor's eyes.
I know I'm going gray. I like it was significant.
In that moment, it felt a lot more.
Significant?
Yes.
Man, I still feel kind of like I did a disservice to our listeners a couple weeks ago.
How so?
Well, because I looked today very briefly for the live version of Park Avenue Sobriety Test.
Yes, right.
Which is the version I've always listened to, and which is just great.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like the version of Park Avenue Sobriety Test we played 2 or 3 weeks ago was just okay.
Yes.
Like, it's still a good tune,
Mm-hmm.
and I can enjoy it, but the live version, something to it.
Yeah. And we've talked about Plasket live performances as well. They're always great.
Yes. Yeah.
And do what is coming back live?
Sports
to us.
stuff, maybe. Is sports coming back live?
Yes, a sport. And that would be basketball, specifically the WNBA.
Oh,
is
yes.
coming
I've
back.
heard this is happening.
So, yes, it's happening. The first WNBA games are on May 14th.
Mhm.
So
That's coming pretty soon. That's
coming
like 2
pretty
weeks
soon.
away in a
Yep.
day or two.
Now, they are quite late
In the
our
evening?
time starting, yeah.
Oh.
So we have an 8 p.m. start time, a 9 p.m. start time, and
All right, let me
11 p.m.
stop
start
you right
time.
there.
Yep.
Because our longtime listeners will know that what I really want to hear about is the team names.
Yeah, we got 8 in front of us, and I'll get the
Okay.
rest here soon.
Well, let's do a rundown.
Well, first,
Because I think there's no better way to judge a new league or an existing league or any type of sportsness
yes,
except by the names given to the
course.
teams.
So first we have the New York Liberty.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Is the Statue of Liberty their mascot logo?
I'm trying to bring it up now for
Okay.
us.
It's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
I do remember that it is very patriotic. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Nothing more patriotic than a large green French lady.
I think it's more like a giant green, like a flame and torch.
Oh,
You know?
they took it from the hand of the Miss Liberty? Lady Liberty.
Miss Liberty.
You're pulling up the images.
It's just going
our listeners at home who aren't seeing this with their eyes because it's radio can't appreciate the struggle that's going on right now. But
I'm trying real hard.
the internet out here at the airport, folks,
It's never been good. It never will be good.
Well, it's airport. It's airport quality, and you've never been in an airport where the internet's is good. Oh yeah, it's like the hand holding the torch. And it's got New York initials on it. It's
not terrible.
No, I would rank it as okay.
And then we got they're going against the Washington Mystics. That's the first game this season, both in the Eastern Conference. There's the Mystics logo.
Yep. Okay.
Very mystical.
Oh,
the second game.
But good for. Are there other Mystic sports teams?
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't think we've run into a Mystics yet. So I'll give them. I'll give them points for not going to the whatever warehouse they pull mascots out of and being like, Give me a large feline.
Give me a bobcat.
Yeah.
Okay, so our first Western Conference game would be the Fever and the Sun. So the Fever. Oh, sorry, that's an Eastern Conference game as well. So we have the
Fever versus the Sun?
Yeah, so we have the Indiana Fever.
Can you even imagine trying to fight the Sun?
With a Fever, I feel like you would be not doing well.
No.
And honestly, oh man. I'm not going to make a commentary on that, actually. Never mind.
Okay.
I just don't think
on.
a Fever is a great name. Let's go with Connecticut Sun. That's kind of nice.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
So this is the first 2 games. The second 2 games, those are both in the 2 later games are both in the Western Conference. So we have
the West.
The West. We have the Minnesota Lynx.
Yeah, they went to the warehouse and got a giant feline.
Well, there's also the Timberwolves is their kind of like sister team.
Oh, so they already had like, is it a buy one get one 50% off giant feline sports mascot?
Unfortunately,
all right.
And then the Seattle Storm,
yeah,
as well.
That feels a bit phoned in, but okay.
And then we have the Las Vegas Aces.
I don't think we've run into Aces yet either.
We haven't.
Okay.
Especially from Las Vegas.
It seems like more of a volleyball team name, but okay.
And the Mercury, Phoenix Mercury.
Okay. Oh, good logo.
Yes, very
like
good
a
logo.
Basketball with rings on it, as if it was Mercury.
Exactly.
And no, I'd give them the best logo by far.
That we've seen. Those are just the first 9. There are 8 other teams.
Okay.
Yep. So we have the Atlanta Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Nice logo.
It's fine. Okay.
We got the Chicago Sky.
Sure.
That's the Windy City.
Yep. There's a sky in every city.
I said 4 more teams, and I was wrong. It's just 2 more teams per conference.
Okay, listen. If I'm going to rank this league on, the team names, I'd say slightly better than average. Really,
I would say so
compared
too.
to some of the ones we've looked at.
Certainly, even like some quote unquote major leagues. The last 2 teams we got are the Dallas Wings,
okay,
and the LA Sparks.
Huh.
So I like the WNBA. Hot take. Do I watch enough of it? Of course not. I don't watch enough NBA, to be honest, either.
How much is enough basketball watching
to have enough of an opinion that I do on
it? Because like on a percentage basis, even if you watched a game, you're way more qualified to have an opinion than I am.
Sure, but I just mean like to have like the amount of opinion I do have on it.
Oh, so you're saying you have your opinion to watching ratio is
off.
Skewed? Okay.
And in not a good way.
All right. You have strong opinions having experienced this little. You are based on what I understand, prepared for the internet, sir.
That's why I'm here speaking. A confident white man who has no basis for his opinions. Where else would I be?
Okay, so what's your opinion? You were about to give it before I cut you
I just
off.
really like it. It's if you even just want to base it off the merits of like what it's done for just basketball, the WNBA is a really good testing grounds for new rules that we have seen kind of start in the NBA at WNBA and then cross over or be taken up by the NBA. So if it's like, I would love to have a WNBA team close to here. I would love to go watch them. There is talk of having a WNBA team in Toronto, one of the big places looking to
New market.
Yes,
Expanding
exactly.
Market. I don't know what terms they use in sports.
And even their WNBA kind of goes into new markets to explore it for NBA teams as well. So there's
instead of doing like a farm league team there, they'd bring the WNBA in. And
so they have one in Seattle. So Seattle famously had the Supersonics there. So they put it
famously.
Yes, famously. Had the Supersonics.
I couldn't have told you that.
Oh
man.
my goodness. And now they have the Storm there for basketball back in Seattle to see how it does, and it's doing very, very well. Another big market that they have their eyes on is Las Vegas, and from my understanding, the Las Vegas Aces are also doing so well that that NBA is looking to put up team there.
Right.
So
I feel like Vegas would be a good basketball city. You get the new influx of people all the time.
Yeah, they just got their first major team in the Golden Knights in the last decade, who have already won a Stanley Cup.
Good for them.
Yeah, so it's a really hot place to put a new franchise. It's not crazy
as far as the temperature is concerned, or
as far as the temperature is concerned, but also,
can you imagine the Fever playing?
Oh goodness,
in Vegas,
in Vegas. But there is something to say for a destination. A lot of athletes want to play at fun destinations, which is why we don't get as many athletes to Toronto. And, a place like Vegas would get a ton of athletes because there are a ton of athletes who would love the nightlife of Vegas, especially, in their youth, in their 20s and stuff.
I came into today sports prepared.
Ooh.
I have sports news.
You
probably already know. But today, which is Saturday, folks.
Yes.
But it's Sunday now. But
yes,
back when I was saying that, it was Saturday. Is that the Halifax Football Club's the home opener, the first game at home?
Yes, the Wanderers.
Yes, that's it, the Wanderers. I knew about that because I heard it on the radio, and I made a mental note.
There you go.
And I said, aha, I am now interested in sports.
I now need to know sport things, so I will note this sport thing.
I filed that directly in the mental filing cabinet under sports.
That's good. You need to have that now. I'm glad because I did not know that. I knew it was starting soon.
Yeah.
Friend of the channel, Jay, mentioned potentially watching the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. First WNBA. Oh my goodness. First Wanderers. That's where the W's coming from. First Wanderers game here this weekend. And you know what? Do what else is this weekend? Another song. Another
song. Man, you want to keep it in Nova Scotia?
Sure.
Have you listened to any banjo music this week?
I haven't actually.
I don't think I've snuck a bluegrass tune in for a couple of weeks.
No.
Which actually, I was going to say all three of our listeners, but I don't think any of them are super into bluegrass, and neither am I. Except I feel like I've got to fill it. I've got to fill this need in Sackville radio.
You got a fever, and
the only
prescription is
more bluegrass.
Okay.
So the Spinney Brothers, their group down out of the Annapolis Valley, they've been at it more than a hot minute.
Yeah,
and they got this tune about a dog.
It's I want my dog back.
I Want My Dog Back by the Spinney Brothers.
Well, I can play I Want My Dog Back by the Spinney Brothers.
Hit it.
I came home from work last night and this is what I found. My wife was gone, my dog was gone, there was no one around. She took the car and took my dog, I don't know where she's at. I don't care where she went, I want my dog back. I want my dog back, he is faithful, he is true. I want my dog back, I don't know what I'll do. he gets out, he'll come on home, he knows that I'll be blue. The only thing that worries me is she might come back too. Understood that girl, but I sure love that pop. He knows where the bones are hid and he can dig them up. He sniffs out the neighborhood for a female he can track. He's smarter than she is, I want my dog back. I want my dog back. He is faithful, he is true. I want my dog back. I don't know what I'll do. If he gets out, he'll come on home, he knows that I'll be blue. The only thing that worries me is she might come back too. You know the thing that bothers me, what gets to me the worst. She don't care for my old dog, she just wants me to hurt. Now she can come and get the stuff she didn't think to pack. All I want from her, I want my dog back. If anybody sees my wife, tell her give me a call. I won't even raise my voice, just want my dog is all. I'll make her an offer, there will be no questions asked. She can have it all, I want my dog back. I want my dog back. He is faithful, he is true. I want my dog back. I don't know what I'll do. If he gets out, he'll come on home, he knows that I'll be blue. The only thing that worries me is she might come back too. Yeah, the only thing that worries me is she might come back too.
Oh goodness. Well, that's a good song, Luke. I really think that the tight harmonies in it are
See, that was my
very
questions to
poetic.
Thomas on air. Does it count? Or excuse me, not on air, but while that was playing,
Yes.
was that like does it count as a harmony if everyone's just singing like the same notes? Do you have to be on different notes? Do you have to be on
So
like what are the musical rules?
so if everyone's singing the same note,
That's
just the melody. If they're all singing the same note, we usually use the word unison. So everyone is singing.
Oh, in singing in unison. That makes sense.
Yeah, singing in unison.
All right.
If you're singing different notes, no matter how close they are or far away they are,
You
that
just
would
have
be
to
a-
be slightly off to be a harmony.
that would be a harmony.
Should be
Some
a-
harmonies sound really, really bad. Like if you were to sing a note.
If I were to sing, period.
No, that would be a melody. But if you were to sing a note and then I would just sing a note a semitone away or a pitch away or really, really close to it, it would sound really, really bad.
Some things don't go together well.
No, like
Your
Like-
ear doesn't like the flavor.
like root notes in minor seconds or root notes and flat fives or root notes and major sevens sometimes, but I like them because I'm weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you understood a lot of that, maybe you're a young artist. And maybe this week you were at the MYB Conservatory of Music.
Look at you.
You like that segue?
Yeah.
Because that's an event this week.
It is.
What else is there for events this week?
Elder Dog Canada info session that is free at.
I have an elder dog.
You do have an elder dog, and there's an info session at the Greater Dorchester moving forward. That's 8 Station Road in Dorchester.
Mhm.
That's free on Tuesday at 6:30 to 7:30. We also have a plant swap and sale at the Sackville Community Garden. That's St. Charles Street by the train tracks.
Can I bring a dandelion and see if I can trade it for something?
You might be able.
Is it
you know,
like, you know how people started off with trading a clothespin or a paper clip and trade their way up?
I've heard. Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be the plant equivalent to that. I
Um,
want to trade my way up to a weeping willow.
Those things are beautiful. I would love to have one of those.
Yeah.
They do. You can get them around here.
Yeah,
like, they
I've been
can-
told they like were borderline for where they could survive.
Yeah,
They do require a junk ton of water, but like on the back of my property, I've thought about
Yeah,
taking a run at one.
that's fair. And you know what? Back of my property, I could probably take a run at one too.
Yeah.
We got Convocation weekend recitals at the Brunton Auditorium on Sunday, May 12th.
I imagine that's musical recitals.
That is, and that's not this Sunday, not even next Sunday, but the Sunday after that, looking a little bit into the future. Hey, do you got any local news?
Oh, so much.
What are you saying?
Oh, did you hear about Dorchester?
I didn't. Well, I did, but I didn't.
People
but
getting
I
out of
did.
prison.
I did hear about that.
People getting out of the school.
Yeah, I heard about it as well.
People getting out of Dorchester.
Yeah, well,
So
everyone's trying to get out of Dorchester.
I have a suggestion, and I consulted a Dorchester native who
Okay.
will remain unnamed.
Yes.
But we postulated that the best solution, because I was prepared to suggest we should build a wall.
Yes, you know what?
Around Dorchester.
It would keep people from Dorchester in Dorchester.
There seems to be a lot of wandering issues in Dorchester.
Yeah, I'm not
like
disagreeing.
walls don't seem to work.
No.
And that's why my man on the scene of Dorchester was like, I think we need to go bigger. I think we need to step it up to dome technology.
Dome? Ooh,
Yeah.
like that Simpsons movie.
A Simpsons movie, or if you're a little older, maybe Biodome.
The
So-
Simpsons movie.
Anyway, so it might be a movement starting here. It might be an idea that goes no further. But due to the nature of walls being less effective in Dorchester than elsewhere,
Yes.
folks, if this continues, we're going to be pushing for the dome.
You know what? If it is a dome over just Dorchester, I think I'm fine with it. How easy?
They're already down the one road in and out with the road closures.
How easy is it to get in and out of Dorchester if there is a dome over it? Because my loving, beautiful wife does need to do that often.
I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
There'll be some sort of dome protocol.
Like we just did go through like the pandemic thing. Because
Yes.
just do that stuff. Like we already have the infrastructure and the knowledge in place, right?
We've got it all, man. And like we know
Perfect.
how airlocks work, and we know how like there could just be a door as long as the door doesn't look too much like a wall.
Yeah.
Because then people
Fascism.
would get through it.
Fascism. What?
What? Anyway, that's my local news relatedness.
Speaking about your local news,
What do you got?
Pierre Polyev was around.
Oh yes.
He made some visits here in New Brunswick, Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
One of those, probably the most famous or infamous, depending on who you are, is his visit at the border.
Mm-hmm.
Which
that
has
was the closest stop to us, correct?
Yes, I believe so. I don't think he was actually.
And that made national news.
It made international news.
International.
Yes,
news.
sir.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I, although have many opinions on it, I don't feel like this is the place to air them.
That's probably for the best. What else you got for news?
That's it actually.
Okay.
Just like I feel like people probably expect me to say a whole bunch on it, and I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm not going to say a whole
Keeping your nose clean this week.
Well,
hands clean. Keeping some extremity clean this week.
I just don't think there's a lot to say.
No, it's all been talked about on radio stations that are very serious and have weather updates that are more credible and don't talk about domes nearly as much as you'd think.
Yeah, it's just like that's what they're for.
Let the news go to the news people.
I'll get very ferociously angry on air about things that I don't see getting national headlines, but like this isn't something that needs to be talked about any more than it already is.
There we go.
Hey, what are your gold stars, dude?
Gold stars?
Gold
I
stars,
got a good
man.
one this week. I got a good one.
What's yours?
Folks, have you ever needed to use a tow truck service?
Yes.
Because tow truck drivers, man, give them all a gold star.
You know what? I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, because in the past week, my experiences with tow truck drivers have been speaking to one who asked me if a car they might have pulled out of a snowbank this winter was an acquaintance of mine.
Yes.
And I had to say yes.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, the roads were terrible. No one should have been out. But at that point, I noted it's like, yeah, but you guys are out all the time in this.
Yeah.
This is
exactly.
It's like, oh, no one should be out. No one should have been out.
I was out.
And I was there to pull them out of the snowbank within like 13 minutes.
Yeah, I've been the person in the car in the snowbank. The tow truck driver drive by, pull me out, and go like, "Where are you going?" And I go, "This is the place I work." Of course, being the
air traffic
control center, and they going like, "Oh, I know your assistant manager. I'm their father-in-law.
Yep.
You're good. Just go."
Oh, what a thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Man, the perks of being an air traffic controller.
Yeah, it's an important job and people respect it. So.
But seriously, it also like, they're getting called out like all hours of the night. And like,
100%.
I'm a person who like really values sleep. So the idea of getting out of bed at like 2:30 in the morning.
When you don't have to.
Oh, goodness.
Because you have to.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my gold star for the week. What do you got?
So I need to drink some water.
You got a frog in your throat?
I have, what's the word I'm looking for? Inflammation of the sinus.
Oh. And drinking.
I think. I don't know.
Liquids. AIDS and that. Some nice tea, maybe?
Ew.
Earl Grey?
Yeah, well, I can tell, like, nice hot showers have been nice. Yeah.
Nice hot showers usually nice.
Yeah. True.
Give a gold star to that some week, but this week it's tow truck drivers.
Yeah, mine
Sorry,
this week...
I cut you right off. Who did you have for
mine this week? I have written down, I'm giving my first 50-50.
Oh, you're splitting the star.
Yeah, you've done the 50-50. I have not.
Is this a holdback 50-50 where you're...
No, well, maybe. Yes, I think it is. Well, I think it is a holdback 50-50 for both of them.
Okay, tell me
because I've heard that our friends in the teachers union still haven't seen the provincial contract that their leadership said that yes to, agreed to.
Oh, the one we discussed last week. That was so good that the negotiators were like, well, we don't need to negotiate.
Exactly. There was a vote this week on a package, but it was like the regional package.
Mm-hmm.
Each region of teachers has a package, as does the entire province, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Well, it makes sense. Just like, all the wants and cares of the teachers in Halifax might not be the same wants and cares of the teachers in Amherst, right? So there are some things that they bargain for in an entire group and some things they bargain for in smaller regions.
Individually.
So Halifax, being the biggest one, had their regional one recently.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people got confused and thought it was the big provincial one. Like even a lot of teachers got confused and thought it was the big provincial one.
But it was a regional one.
Yeah, it was a regional one.
Man, if you're in a region that's like highly agricultural or like marine, like if you're down in like Yarmouth, can you negotiate for like so much fish and chips?
You might be able to.
Or like if you're in the Annapolis Valley, do you get like a couple bottles of wines from one of the nice vineyards?
I know in the past it wasn't uncommon. I think it's a lot less now that the Cape Breton School Board, the students had more absent day leeway because a lot of the students would be out on fishing boats certain times of the year.
Are you familiar with potato break? Do you know what I'm
So-
talking about if I say the potato break to you?
Yes, I actually did learn about this in my education degree,
Oh,
but I can't actually fully, other than like it may have been actually not during.
so
But there was a
again,
week. There was a week in early school year that it was just like off for everyone because none of the
Yes,
students
it was
came
like
to school.
March break in the fall.
Yeah, exactly.
in the
But it was for
in northwestern
potato?
New
Yeah.
Brunswick and perhaps parts of PEI,
Yeah.
where so many of the students in a given district would be needed to help harvest potatoes that they would close schools down.
Yep.
And this was happening up until I would say maybe not a decade ago, but 15 years ago.
Yep.
I think this was still happening.
I was about to
At
say
the very
same
least
thing,
20 years ago, which I'm fearfully starting to date myself. But like I know people who experienced potato break,
yeah.
and some of whom did not even like grow up or work on farms,
Mhm.
but it was almost expected in those communities. It's like, okay, well you're coming to work,
Yeah, you go into your
even if you
aunts
didn't
or your
work
uncles
the whole
or
rest of the year, like as
Um,
a like a teenager. But during the potato break, you were getting a gig for 2 or 3 weeks.
when I worked about 3 months in Port Elgin. Not Port Elgin, my goodness, sorry, Port Hawkesbury, which is just on Cape Breton. And yeah, they still had, and I don't want to date myself, so I won't say how long ago that was, but they still had like extra days off for kids or leeway or programs, I should say, for kids who were legitimately out on like the family boat.
Yeah, well, I mean, from you have a lot of friends who are teachers. What was the feeling around that? Because I think it's my family growing up. You will know had a cranberry farm,
Yes.
and I picked rocks. I put in sprinklers. I took them out. I helped harvest. It was like one of the things,
Hmm.
and
And to this day, you love cranberries.
oh, I love them like I love a kick in the shins, folks. It's great, and I still know some people in the cranberry business, and honestly, like everyone I ever met who was associated with that business are like great folks.
And love ocean spray, all of them.
Careful now. But God, I always like secretly wish that my family like maybe had a strawberry farm or raspberry farm or like almost any other berry.
Something more cool than cranberries?
No, I just don't like the taste of cranberries at all.
That's fair.
I do not care for them. A good friend of mine used to come help us harvest and eat them by the handful, like straight out of the field.
What?
Yeah, man.
Sorry, do I know which friend you're talking
yes,
about?
and we could discuss it off.
Oh,
air.
you'll have to tell me. I think I know which one, but you'll have to tell me off air.
and
That's
it's,
insane.
It's like,
Is it the insane one?
Well, I'm sorry, sir. You'll have to narrow it down.
I think, yeah, but I think you know which one I'm talking. Anyway,
no, it isn't.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's anyway. Some people really enjoy cranberries.
Apparently, I didn't know anyone enjoyed them that much.
Yep. So that's that. Sorry to sidetrack you.
No, man, because now I'm going down a completely different rabbit hole. It's like, how much do people really
Teachers' agreements way back.
really
Who's getting
enjoy
your half
cranberries?
stars? Can we come?
Oh yeah, sorry, did I not say who it was yet?
I don't think so.
Tim Houston and Ryan Lutz. So Tim Houston, of course, being the Premier of Nova Scotia, and Ryan Lutz being the president, the outgoing, I should say, president of the Nova Scotia Teachers Union. Ryan Lutz did not go for re-election, even though he is the leader in the midst of doing this contract negotiation. So his time as a leader is coming to the end as he is walking out of this contract negotiation.
Do you think it's like a sports scenario where he won the thing and he's leaving while he's on top?
I don't know. He wouldn't have known if he was leaving on top or not.
Oh, when he announced his leavingness?
Yeah.
Okay. Very well done.
So he's either very, 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 very smart, or yeah, I don't know. But yeah, tentatively it's going to go, unless, in a few weeks you hear that the teachers are very angry. Yeah, it's tentatively going to go to 50% to Tim Houston and his conservative government, and 50% to Ryan Lutz and his team at the Nova Scotia Teachers Union.
All right.
Isn't that fun?
It's so much fun.
Didn't I do a fun thing?
You did a thing.
I did fun news that we all enjoyed.
Oh, so much.
And I also did my last two gold stars have been incredibly fun.
So much. How about
what was
this?
yours last week? I don't have it written down. Do you see that?
Oh my goodness, I'd have to go back and listen at this point.
Yeah,
A week can be a very long period of time.
Sometimes
And
it's
this
eternity,
week
and sometimes
was
it's
a week
nothing.
of length.
Fair.
It wasn't vacation week length. You know what I mean?
No, it was
Like
longest
when you
week
have
of life
when you have
length.
a week off and it evaporates into the ether.
Yes.
It wasn't that.
More
It was the
longest
other
week
thing.
of life, yeah.
Whoa! Speaking of ether, have you been reading anything?
Oh no, what have you been reading?
Oh, I've been I'm falling into sci-fi again.
Yeah.
So I finished off the Green Mars, which is where I started in the third part of a trilogy by accident.
Okay, Luke, straight up, we never talk about feedback on the show, eh? When's the last time you've heard me talk about any feedback on the show? When have you ever been given feedback on this show?
From listeners?
From
one
me
of our two listeners?
Yeah, me telling you feedback of listeners. Or
why?
Because
is it related to books?
Just
Do people not want to hear about
the
books?
Red Mars, Green Mars, multiple people were really into it.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Strange.
I don't know what to tell you.
Are there other closet sci-fi readers out
I don't know, man. I'm just telling you, that.
Maybe I'm the only one who's not talking about it.
You hit a trend in something you said. So
okay, it was starting book series at the wrong point.
You know what? Maybe that's it. Maybe we just need to this. Maybe this turns.
I never understood the people who jumped to the last chapter of a book to read it before they started it, so they would know where it ended up.
Maybe that's what we start doing.
Now I am very interested to see the first two books.
Yeah, right.
Because it's oh well, I know that this character has not fallen from grace. Maybe not even compromised their morals. They've just been beaten down.
I want to read God Emperor Dune or whatever.
Oh, Dune.
But the end of it,
Dune's
when everyone
so hot right now.
I know it is, but everyone loves fourth book, whatever. It's read the fourth book, way past where the movies are right now. I'm I know the ending. I must read the beginning now, and maybe I can get past it. Because when I was reading Dune the first time, I was I cannot care about this freaking worm poop. I don't care about worm poop.
All right.
Do you care about worm poop?
It's been suggested that I read it by several people.
Worm poop.
But you see, you've probably gotten it for the same reason, because as discussed on our first 17 episodes, we both like Tolkien.
Very much, yes. I'm back into Tolkien again, of course.
And Tolkien's an immersive experience, And
I'm literally thinking, in my head, the one of the forwards to Lord of the Rings was just the very specific, minute details of
genealogies.
Oh no, that's the Bible, sir.
And Tolkien, but yeah.
I was thinking, oh goodness, the weed that the hobbit, pipeweed. It's an entire forward, a full chapter on pipeweed and just pipeweed.
Yeah.
And what's the difference between worm poop and pipeweed?
it's it's all the difference, maybe, and it's also none of the difference.
It really is none of the difference, but just one flavor is a lot more satisfying to me for some reason.
All right. So anyway, back to my red Mars, green Mars.
Right?
Mars.
Sorry, continue.
No, it's all right. It's all right. So because if you used to buy cheap paperbacks, you'll know that sometimes you'll finish a cheap paperback and they'll be like, here's the first chapter or two, because this is all pre-internet and
Yes.
I don't even know. Here's like the first 2 chapters of a book we think you'll be like into.
Yeah.
And that's this. Like this
Yeah.
exists in the book I was reading.
That's great.
So I finished my book and now there's some other like I don't know if it's popular or not. It's like Meeting with Medusa, and it's about like futuristic airships.
Okay.
Like lighter than
Yeah.
air aircraft, like blimps.
Ooh.
And it's good. Like I again, having read it, I'm probably gonna have to go. If it's not a short story, which I'm feeling it's not, based on how much setup there is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go get this book now because it's like, oh, now I've read 2 chapters and I'm invested in the character.
I do really like blimp steampunk
There's
stuff.
an aesthetic
Yeah.
to it. Yeah.
And like I'm thinking, oh man, I completely lost what I was going to say now.
I'm sorry.
I have no clue. Like not even
the faintest idea.
no, nothing. Nothing.
Oh, I knocked your train right on off the tracks.
You did. And you know what sometimes gets off the tracks?
Our radio show?
Yes, of course, our radio show, but also a record, especially if like the needle is not like super clean.
Are you talking about like a real record?
Yes, a real record.
Not like when musicians nowadays say they're releasing a record.
No, like a very like a
vinyl
vinyl record, and like you have to like go under and like clean the needle, like get really under their needle, which is live on KEXP.
Oh, what a transition!
Brings you the best of KEXP's world-renowned live in-studio and remote performances. Each week, we'll bring you a new live session from emerging artists to well-established acts spanning styles, genres, and cultures. They have artists like Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, Florence and the Machine, the Lumineers, and this is where I start just reading down the giant list I have. Like
so many people.
The War on Drugs, Phoebe Bridges, Wilco, Alves, Dinosaur Jr., The Hives, Father John Misty, Gary Clark Jr., Kamasi Washington, Purity Ring, Jeremy Dutcher, and these are just like some of my genuine favorite ones on the list.
You just picked them out.
There's a much, much, much bigger list. With even more artists. I don't know if I even said Robert Glasper Experiment when I said all of those, but I've been listening.
Hard to say, but if so, they're getting it again.
I've been listening to a lot of Robert Glasper recently, which is why I bring it up again.
You know what I was listening to today?
What?
Rock. Because I had a long drive today. I spent like 5 hours in the car going somewhere to pick up a thing.
Yes, and back.
And back. Well, it was like 2.5 each way.
Yes.
Going to our provincial capital and back. But I was listening to some rock, and if you like some good rock tunes,
yeah,
you gotta check out Bonsai Radio, man.
Yeah,
Thursday
that's true.
at 7, like, and like good commentary on it, but also
really good classic rock.
Yeah, and from I think it's easy to look back at any genre or any time in music and be like, there's always the heavy hitters on radio that get the radio play. But there's the B tunes and C tunes that get it and are great songs.
Yeah.
And those just, they fade into oblivion. And I think you get on Bonsai Radio a lot of what at the time might have been considered B and C tunes, but that if they came out today and you just judge them as a new song, you'd be like, yeah, this is like a really catchy tune. Yeah,
there's a lot of B-sides in music history that are just like, man, if this was the A-side, it would be the song that's remembered.
Yeah.
So it just came out beside one of the greatest songs of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely take a listen to Mom's Eye. We also, of course, have Black Atlantic, an Atlantic-centric podcast website and media channel with the goal of bringing Atlantic POC voices to the world. Hosted by Clinton Davis and Hilary LeBlanc. Check them out at www.blackatlantic.ca.
But what if you've gone all week and you haven't heard from Luca Capone?
Oh, well, then you could listen to the Night Shift and spin a diverse, adventurous mix. Sounds ranging from psychedelic jazz to experimental hip-hop, heavy focus on Canadian and independent artists. That is at 9 p.m. this evening. That would be Sunday evening after you're hearing this show live. What about my friends who aren't listening live? What if they're listening after? Is there anything else they could listen to?
Man, they can listen to banked issues of us or almost anything else you hear here on CHMA.
That's true. You could listen to anything else there on CHMA.
In fact, we might recommend listening to anything else.
Yeah, that's also true, yeah. But I would also recommend listening to, we're having a new podcast come out.
Oh.
Yeah, did you know that?
From our co-conspirators in the wrestling fan department?
That's correct. So it was mentioned to you, Luke, that Midgic Airport is opening up. There's some music being made, maybe some podcasts being developed. I think it's just like the whole production company's kind of opening up, kind of all under the Midgic Airport name. Since
it's a big building.
Very big building. So, do you know how many closets? Like, I think people understand that we don't get a ton of traffic here,
right? Especially for the size of the operation.
Big building, a lot of space. So yeah, we open up a little bit more space. Myself, Jay, who some of you have heard of.
I work a different shift from air traffic controller Jay, but
yeah, you know Jay. You like the guy.
Yep.
Jay's coming on. He was on our gaming channel for a little bit when we had that. And
man of many talents and interests.
A man of many talents and many interests. So he's going to be on the wrestling podcast coming out, and so is one of his friends, a mutual friend of mine, Mitch. So myself, Mitch, and Jay, we're going to start that wrestling podcast. That would be the Stardust Trio podcast. You might see some of the merch and some of the episodes popping up. Both in your Spotify stream and on the website. What's the website, Luke?
www.midgicairport.com.
Yeah, that wasn't a trick question. That was
shouldn't have been.
Very much just a segue.
But I've heard we're also
Yeah.
On social medias.
Yeah, we're on all the social medias, actually. What are we on social medias?
We're Midgic Airport everywhere except the one that you always give the convoluted answer about.
What are we on that one?
We're Midgic_Airport on X, which is formerly known as Twitter.
There you go, man. One thing we forgot to do is shout out CHMA for hosting and broadcasting.
Man, the amount of goodness they provide to us, letting us record out here at the airport and beam it into their studio via Piper or Cessna, depending on the week. It's tremendous.
It is tremendous. You can check them out at CHMAFM.com and CHMAFM on all of the socials. Finally, if you miss any episode, you can catch us anywhere you get your podcasts at YMC Midgic Airport. Signing off.
Have a great night, folks.